Hi there. I have to do a bit of an explanation. As traveling the world the last 2 years, I've found out too many people have a misunderstanding about kinesiology, or applied kinesiology, or muscle testing as they call it. I want to make you understand that kinesiology has 4 main areas where kinesiology is very, very effective. The first area on the top left is structure. I can test any person whether bones, joints in the spine and extremities are aligned or misaligned, there's something going on or not. I can touch the area of the mental condition of a person, which I personally don't do. I think it's not defined enough in kinesiology, but you can check out whether the person has mental issues with something. The third area of kinesiology covering is functions, of our functions, like organs, glands, and flows in the body. You can test whether these functions, these organs, are functioning well or not. The last and the fourth one, frequency, is the one I use most of the time, which means on this planet are only 2 types of frequencies: survival and counter-survival. Every product has its own frequency. Every person has his own unique frequency, like a fingerprint. So I can ask the body, does that frequency, that product, is for you a survival or counter-survival frequency? And that's the last part in frequencies. This is where I use it the most. All right? I hope that helps up a bit, along with the video coming up now, to make understand what kinesiology is. In that video, primarily, I'll work with the frequencies. If you have any questions, just call me. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye. Hi, good day to you. My name is Norbert Heuser. I'm the CEO of IPC Global in the United States. And our company has developed certain technologies which we call euphoria technology, and products along this technology to improve this planet. And you can find these products on our website. Just watch out for it, okay? But I don't want to go into the product parts. I want to talk basically about kinesiology, which is translated very often or used there as an expression, muscle testing. And if you go on YouTube, you find tons of videos about muscle testing, and a lot of them love it, and a lot of doctors love it and use it. And of course, there are some people against it, and they have what they have to say. That's fine with me. I started kinesiology about 35 years ago when I lived in Germany, and I found out about kinesiology, and I used it since. And I'm very happy with it, and I'm very successful with it, and it helped me in many, many different ways. If you want to learn more about kinesiology and how to self-test you, there's an interesting book I found, this one here. You can buy it at Amazon, wherever. It explains you the basics of muscle testing and how you can muscle test yourself, all right? And again, many, many videos and demonstrations and very cool guys on YouTube doing great, great stuff. There's a mental part to kinesiology, and there is a body part to kinesiology. I don't want to touch the mental part. I'm talking today a few minutes about the body part and what I found out and what needs to be done. A lot of people who practice kinesiology, they test you right away, and normally you have to do some preparations. And let me show these preparations. I have the assistant here, Bella. She's not only beautiful, but she's my youngest daughter. And we're doing this black and white thing together for many years, and we love it. Having a great time. So I'll show you now how I usually prep a person before do a kinesiology test, all right? Different people use different muscles. They use the fingers, they use the legs, they use the arms, they have people laid down on a bed, they have people standing up. There are different ways to do it. Let me show you how we do it standing up with the arm. So first, you test the person, and the person has to match your pressure. It's not about who's stronger. That's not about that. It's just about that she matches the pressure, okay? So, and she feels herself that the muscle is strong, you know. Now, there's a control point, and the control point is, for example, here. And I can touch it, or I can just come close to it, and when I touch here, she will become weak, okay? And that's the only point in her body where she has to become weak. And that's a control point. It shows me she's testable. She's not what we call switched. It's like a circuit board. I'm testing the circuit board. Do we have power? Yes, we have power. And again, I'll check it out here. She's strong. I test here, she becomes weak. Okay? So, which means now she's testable. And usually, most of the people, including all kind of doctors, and I just met one person so far who does it differently, like I'm showing you now, immediately start to test the person. For me, that's completely wrong. First, I have to test the person whether the person is dehydrated. Because imagine the percentage of water we have in our human body, we all know. All the information goes through water, through the cells in our human body. Now, if you are dehydrated, that means the information maybe not as cool, as clear, as efficient, as industrious as we want to have it. Okay? Like if you have a thermometer and it's fogged up and you cannot read the numbers, what would that tell you? You know, you wouldn't know the exact numbers there. So what I do now is I test her whether she's dehydrated. Okay? If you resist. And that's the dehydration point. If she would be not dehydrated, she would stay strong. If she's dehydrated, she becomes weak. I ask the body, are you dehydrated? And the body tells me yes. She's very dehydrated. Not a wonder we're in a studio here without air condition. We're in Florida, it's summertime, you know, so. But I can tell you from all the workshops I do around the globe, I travel a lot around the globe giving workshops. I can say that 99% of all people I test in every location, even if it's not summer, even if it's winter in Canada, I will be next week in Canada, they're always dehydrated. It's amazing. And they tell me, oh yeah, but I drank 2-3 gallons of whatever, 100 liters of water today. It's not only the question of the volume of water you drink, it's as well the question of the quality of the water you drink. And most of the waters nowadays are bad. Basically, every water you buy in a health food store in bottles is bad. I have a separate video, look here. I give you the link. And on that video, that's not me, a friend of mine, one of the biggest guys in water, talks only about water and explains you why they are bad, okay? I don't go there now. It's too much. But basically, all waters in health food stores are bad. Most of the waters in public systems, especially in America, are bad because they have fluoride in it. Chlorine. And a lot of other fancy stuff you don't want in your body. So the body tells me she's dehydrated. Okay, fine. So I give her a cup of water, not very much. Drink that. And let's test her again. Resist. And she's still dehydrated. For two reasons. The quality of the water is not the best in the world. It's quite okay, but it was not enough and the quality is not good. Now I'll give you another example how we help this person. Normally I wouldn't be able to go on testing her. You know, she can't be tested to my definition. So I give her the same amount of water. This time one of our technologies, U4 technology, it's called I1. You can find it here on the website. I'll put this over for 3 seconds or 4 or 5 or 2. And I have her drink it again. Well, not again, I mean, it's a new water, but the same volume. Now let's see what happens. Ready? Resist. She's strong like a bull. Okay? So I gave her some water and I energized it. Now this water volume is not enough for the entire day, but it keeps her body in condition now that she can be tested. All right? So I asked the body about this apple, for example. On this planet are only 2 types of frequencies. Positive frequencies, pro-survival, and bad frequencies, counter-survival. For example, we have 75,000 registered chemicals. They're all bad frequencies, all counter-survival. The body cannot digest them. They're toxic. So the body does recognize with a split second whether the frequency of this apple is survival or counter-survival. Every product on this planet has its own frequency, like every human being has its own unique frequency. Whether you know it or not, it's just that way it is. So I asked the body, do you like this frequency? It's not about, do you like apples? Do you like the texture of apples or whatever? It's not the point. The point is, for you, is that frequency of that apple counter-survival or pro-survival? So we have her stretch her arm, and now resist. Now hold this against your navel, and she's strong, okay? So the body says, hey, that's a good frequency. I like that. Give me that frequency. That's pro-survival for her. I may test another person. For another person, it may be different. It's an individual person. For her, the apple is good. Now I say, okay, I have another product here, and I'd like you to put this against your belly button, and I test it, and it's weak like hell, okay? So the body says, this here is a bad frequency. Don't give it to me. It takes the body less than a second to recognize this. We're talking about quantum physics here. Quantum physics knows no time and space. That's faster than you can say think or yes or no or please, whatever. It's so damn fast. So, and I'm a bit tricky here, I must admit. When I travel the globe and give my workshops, I always use an apple and I always use sugar. What her body rejected was just sugar. Okay? The body says this frequency is bad for me. Don't give me that frequency. So far on my travels, basically, I have never met a person who did not like apples. The body the body does like apples, everybody. And I never met a person where the body says, oh, sugar is good for me. These are just two extreme quick examples to show you that the body reflects these frequencies and tells you what is good for you and what is bad for you. So you can test every frequency of every product in this world. And you should do it when you go to eat to dinner or when you cook. You should find out. And I can give you one hint. If you have a craving for something, like people say, okay, every morning I must have my orange juice, I must have my orange juice. Any kind of craving for a product is usually an indicator that the product is bad for you. The body craves for the wrong thing, like drugs or like cigarettes and so on and so forth, right? And most of the times when I do my workshops, I have oranges with me as well. And guess what? Nearly everybody I tested so far cannot digest oranges. Oranges are not good for most of the people in the human body. But that's different for every person. So we don't generalize this. We must test a person. If I take some spaghetti from some company and test her on the spaghetti, for her it may be good, for another person it may be bad. Or spaghetti from another manufacturer may be good for her, but from this manufacturer is not good for her. So you can test with kinesiology every person, whether a frequency is good or bad for you. And on a separate video, which we show here, the link to you, and which we have on our website, we showed how our new product, safest cell phone unit in the world, how that works, how that improves the human body and not destroys the human body. But that you can see on a separate video. Okay, that was a quick crash course about my point of view about kinesiology or muscle testing. And keep in mind what I said to you about the water. If a doctor or whoever tests you on products, to my opinion, insist of a dehydration test. Because if you're dehydrated, the answers you get from your body may be a bit diluted, maybe not accurate, not 100% accurate, maybe accurate enough. Don't gamble. Have a test done on your water in your body, and if needed, pump it up so that your body is really testable, all right? Dehydration must be good. Thank you very much. I hope that cleared some questions you may have, and do me a favor. Send me information. If you find information about all this, give it to me, good or bad. I'm happy to hear news. I'm happy to learn. If you visit our website, you have questions, send me an email. It's all about improving this planet. Thanks a lot. See you soon. Bye-bye.